Cuando te encontré, vi un poder puro e indómito. Y más allá.
I was just trying to make a great Star Wars movie. That was my goal. I wasn't trying to bring anything specific other than just making a great movie. And because this is the middle chapter, it had a very specific job. You know, this was the chapter where we take these characters that were set up in The Force Awakens and we challenge them.
Que el pasado muera. Mátalo.
The scale of it, something like this, and was intimidating to me because I'd never worked on something this size before and didn't know how to really, you know. But that can kind of be said with everything, you know. Even a smaller movie, I felt a lot of anxiety, but I knew more people would see this, you know. Not that that adds a different level of pressure, but I guess it does in a way.
Hay algo dentro de mí que siempre ha estado ahí. Ahora ha despertado. Y necesito ayuda.
My first 3 films were big studio films, and then I did a small film this year and it felt exactly the same. There's no sense of, I've never felt that it's like a big machine and everything. JJ was always right there, Ryan was always right there, Ken Branagh was always right there.
Solo sé una verdad.
And at the end of the day, it's about telling the story and making sure that it feels honest in terms of where the characters go. It never feels like you're just trying to surprise people, but that it's like you look at the whole thing and you say, even the spots you were surprised by what happens, when you think back, you think, yeah, but that makes total sense. The character would have done that at that moment.
But I think that's unique to JJ and Ryan. They're two people who are very character-driven in their storytelling, you know, which is what I like about movies. That even big-budget blockbuster movies doesn't mean there's no room for ambiguity or character development or...
The one thing I knew was it would have been absolute death for me to have that in my head while I was writing, because I never would have written a single word. I would have been terrified to, you know, do the wrong thing. And I know that George Lucas wasn't thinking about, you know, what will the fans like when he wrote the original films. He wrote a movie he wanted to see that came from his heart, and that's why it has a living, beating heart in those movies. So that's what I had to do at the start. I just kind of shut it all out and just said, I'm going to make a Star Wars movie that feels right to me.
I would say it's made me busier. Haven't been home as much this year. Yeah, got to do some pretty cool stuff.
Necesito que alguien me muestre mi lugar en todo esto.